Hi friends in Artland, welcome to the Seb Duke Show. The show where we talk about art marketing and mindset. My name is Seb Duke, I'm an artist and art marketing consultant, and I'm here to help artists like you market your art in order to reach the right audience and enhance your mindset to help you become more productive and efficient in whatever tasks you tackle. Twice a week, I bring you inspiring and practical advice to help guide you on your path to artistic greatness. And I do this because I truly believe that all art deserves to be seen. And that starts with yours. Monday episodes are for mindset advice to start your week right. Friday episodes are for art marketing advice so you can start your weekend with fresh ideas to work on. Now we're about to start episode 16, There's No Age in the Age of Social. But just before we start, quick announcement, I'm now on Twitter. And I'm out there multiple times a day sending out tweets about mindset and marketing, so make sure you follow me at The Seb Duke Show over there. Decided to start that Twitter account because sometimes some ideas are a good podcast, sometimes they're a good Instagram post, but sometimes some ideas are just a good tweet, short and concise. So if you happen to be on Twitter, join the discussion there at The Seb Duke Show, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you there. Okay, now let's get into today's episode. I wasn't sure whether or not to release this episode on a Monday, which is for mindset-driven episodes. I wasn't sure whether or not to release it on a Friday, which is a marketing-driven episode day, because it's kind of both a marketing and mindset episode at the same time today. In the end, decided to release it today on Monday because I think it's a mindset issue first and foremost. Recently, an artist from here in Canada wrote me on Instagram, and I'm going to read her message out to you because that message was extremely, deeply touching for me when I read it. Here we go. It goes like this. Hi Seb, I've been reading your book, which has been an eye-opener in many respects. I have questions. I'm 63 years old, just now pursuing an art business after many years of working out in the business world. I want you to be honest. Do you think an older woman taking pictures with her art will help sell art? It just seems to me that it would detract from the art. That was her message. Now, when I read it, I was so touched to think that the idea is out there that women of a certain age should not be seen online. That really got to me. So I asked her for her phone number right away and asked her when she would be available because I had to talk to her as soon as possible. Usually I charge for consults, but that just caught me deep in my feelings and I had to talk to her right away because there's no such thing as being too old for social media. Thankfully, she gave me her phone number right away and said she was available right there and then, so I called her. And I told her how touched I was by her question, that of course she owed it to herself to showcase herself with her art. That there's no such rule that older women should not be seen on the internet. Then she said that people around her had told her that older women should not be seen doing things on the internet, that people would not want to see older women online. She even told me she was considering asking her daughter to be her stand-in in order to get photographed with her art instead of her herself. When I heard that, my heart sank. I mean, first of all, if you're older, You're a woman. Don't listen to anyone who tells you you shouldn't be doing anything. In fact, whoever you are, there's no rule that says you shouldn't be on the internet. And second of all, if that's the way people think, it means that there's a huge blind spot. Go ahead and do it. There's less competition because less people are doing it. If you're an older woman, that's how people think in your age range. It means that less people fitting that description will be out there. So if you muster up the courage to go ahead and showcase yourself, you have a much better chance of taking that market. Third of all, when you think of your target demographic, who might be interested in your art, you have to think of who you are. Chances are your customers are probably very much like you because like-minded people tend to gather. During my phone call with her, I asked her, "Who typically buys your art?" And she laughed and told me, "People my age." So I asked her, "Don't you think they'd appreciate seeing someone like them?" We talk a lot about representation nowadays. There's a huge blind spot when it comes down to women of a certain age. On TV, on the radio, in magazines, and definitely online. There's no rule that says you shouldn't be on the internet. So please, this comes from the heart. I want to see more of you. We need you. We need your voice. We need your wisdom. We need your advice. We need your perspective. We need to see more of you. We need to know you exist. Otherwise, we're just seeing young people talking to young people online. That's an echo chamber that's not conducive to good dialogue. Like, it always makes me laugh when I see 20-year-old influencers online giving life advice to 20-year-old people. It's like the blind leading the blind. Now, if you're older, you have a lifetime of expertise, wisdom, advice, and stories to share. So let your expertise have a voice. Let your wisdom have a voice. Let your advice have a voice. Let your story have a voice, your voice. And please, let your expertise, your wisdom, your advice, and your stories have a face, your face. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. When I started doing art marketing consulting, I thought I'd be helping out young artists fresh out of school, young artists trying to establish themselves on social media. I thought people listening to this podcast, I thought people following me online would be younger. The fact that I get to help older artists and break down mental barriers, honestly, that gets to me. That's what makes it all worth my while. Because then it's a little bit more than art. It's about life, you know? And please know when I say your art deserves to be seen, that's not a tagline I throw around lightly. I believe in this wholeheartedly. Your art deserves to be seen. But you also deserve to be seen. You should not be ashamed of who you are. Your art is a part of who you are. It's an extension of who you are. So if you're 23, 43, 63, doesn't matter. You're not past your prime. You shouldn't stay hidden because of some biases in society. You shouldn't be afraid to show your face because some people don't believe you should be there. I'll be honest with you. I had it on my release schedule to talk about this topic one day. My angle was going to be way more clinical and factual, but when I received that DM, I just had to write this episode right away. Because sometimes art is about a bit more than just art. And this was a very, very, very touching reminder of that fact. And that's what wraps it up for me today. Just before I go, if you struggle with putting yourself out there, if you have any obstacles in your path, if you have people saying you shouldn't be doing something, if that person saying you shouldn't be doing something is you, get in touch with me and book a coaching session. We'll look at tackling those roadblocks so we can get your art seen by as many people as possible, and also get you seen by as many people as possible. Just send me a DM on Instagram at seb.duke, send me a message on Twitter at The Seb Duke Show, or go to sebduke.com and send me an email. All those links are in the show notes. And this is where I sign off. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you make today a great day, and please make sure your art gets seen by as many people as possible. And I'll talk to you soon.